Yes, guys, and welcome to the Derby vs Sunderland match review. And as you can tell by the smile on my face, Sunderland did get themselves, they did pick up 3 points on the road last night, in which was a game absolutely not without its drama. On paper, 1-0 on the surface away from home. It looks like it's a pretty simple cut and dry scenario. It definitely wasn't. And behind this smile, there's absolutely a layer of frustration and anger, and not because of the performance of any players in particular, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't a perfect performance by any stretch, but the referee. And again, I always say that I will always call out the referee, win, lose or draw, so it doesn't look like I'm being salty just when we're losing, I'm bitching about a referee. What happened last night was the closest thing to cheating, and the closest I've been to just being, well, not the closest thing, but just utterly baffled, and I still don't know why a goal was disallowed last night, and I am going to get into it. But yeah, hit the like button because Sunderland did get 3 points, and hit the like button because my sanity was truly tested last night whilst trying to work out why ISIDOR didn't have his goal. I still don't know now. There's rumours, bits and pieces here and there, but I still do not know. We still don't have a clear, definitive answer. But before we do get into the review, if you could hit the like button for me, of course, that'd be very, very nice. But also, I did mention in the last video, I'll put the graphic back up on screen, the same one I put up in the last video. There's been over 50% of you guys that are regularly watching these videos and you're not yet subscribed, whether you just watch it every now and then, if you see my content pop up on your feed every now and then, and you click it every now and then, but you're not subscribed yet. If you do, just hit the subscribe button for me. It really does mean a lot. I enjoy making the videos, and it does give me motivation when I do see a lot of new subscribers and an influx of new subscribers coming in, because then, like I said, it puts a smile on my face more than anything, and it really does help out. But enough of that, we'll get into the review. So, getting into the game, we did go with a flat 4-4-2, which I said in my preview to the game, it wouldn't surprise me, and I'd at least understand why Rodgers would do that, but I think the personnel would have to be a bit strange and a bit mix and match to be able to keep the players he wants to keep on the pitch, and that did happen with, of course, we had Patterson at the back, Sirkin, O'Nien, Mepham, and Hume across the back four. Then in the middle of the flat four, we had Job and Dhannoo in the middle, and then we had Rigg as a right midfielder and Lafay on the left, which I kind of expected him to play Lafay on the left. However, I really wanted him to just put him in his real position. And again, not to say that Lafay didn't play well on the left, because I think he was fantastic still, and some of the quality that lad has, it's just stupid. And to see him, flex against a team like Derby with no disrespect, he just looked like he just shouldn't be on that pitch. He should not be in this league, or at least, do you know what I mean? He just looked way above it. He just looked out of this league. He looked above the standard at this point. But up top, we did have Mayenda and ISIDOR as well, which I was excited to see. But again, we're putting essentially central midfielders on the wing. I did say in the preview that I wouldn't be against seeing Roberts dropped, at least for this game. Some people disagreed with me. I saw it in the comments, but Rodgers seemed to think the same as me. Not saying that I'm perfect, of course, but there was a couple of angry people who didn't like the suggestion of Roberts being dropped. But like I said, Rodgers thought the same thing. But getting into the game, the opening sort of 15-20 minutes, I thought we'd barely got out of first gear. Derby looked like the better side, I'll be totally honest with you, in terms of keeping all the possession. And we just sort of sat back and we looked a little bit disjointed for me at times. They weren't exactly peppering our goal or anything like that, but they were keeping possession. And they were getting down the wings and putting ball after ball in, and we were dealing with it generally quite well. But on the ball, we were just turning over possession quite easily, and then we just seemed quite content to sit there. And I'd understand that if we're going to go on sort of blistering counter-attacks when we won it back, but we didn't. It was almost like we tried to keep the ball and we couldn't really string a pass together, and we were really, really slow out the blocks, and it was quite disappointing to see, and Derby will probably be disappointed that they didn't create or carve out more in those times. But we did eventually, after about 20-odd minutes, we managed to get our own sort of to get on our own terms, get possession ourselves, control the ball a little bit better, and we did. And we did manage to break. We broke forward. Rigg did well he come inside to nick the ball after he lost the ball himself, so he won it back. Fair play to him, knocks it onto Job. Job drives forward, which we did see a couple of times, by the way. I love seeing Job just asking questions of the players in front of him, because there's so many times, and it did happen last night, where Dhannoo are getting the ball, or others as well, and there'd be acres of space in front of him. I'm just thinking, utilise the space, ask questions of them. If you run into that massive amount of space that they've given you, they have to commit. And then when you do that, that's when options open up. But there's times where I saw like Dhannoo on the ball, and he's under no pressure, no one around him, and then they'll just ping one, left, right, which sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. But I just feel like it's such a waste opportunity when you've got so much room in front of you. So my point being, it was really enjoyable to see Job when he did pick it up. He looks up, he realises he's got 10 yards of free space, and he's bombing at them. And that's what he did. Then he's played the ball. It looks like he's tried to sort of find ISIDOR, but it goes just behind him. I think it takes a flick off a defender, but it goes all the way through to Mayenda. He takes a touch and then just smashes it sort of straight at the keeper, but through his legs, beats the keeper to make it 1-0. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. And then we sort of see out the half, and again, it wasn't a perfect display. Again, we did make chances. Lefay had a couple of little moments here and there. He had a free kick. We know and we've known from before he signed that he does have a really good set piece on him, a good free kick on him, and it was an outstanding free kick. And he's gone for the top corner, and the keeper makes a fantastic save. But it did look fantastic. Some bits of skills that lad has. When we did start to go into the game in that first half, there was a time where he dummied his man on the left-hand side in the box. It looked like he was going to sort of go backwards, and he shimmered his man, sold his man, absolutely sold him, and then done him. And then what he does is, a lot of our players, which just comes with time and I guess experience and quality as well, of course, when they get to the byline, they just smash it hard and low, which sometimes works, smash it hard and low and just see if anything happens. But 9 times out of 10, it either hits the first man or straight to the keeper. But Lefay, even though he could have easily just smashed it across goal, he just has that intelligence to just quickly flick it back towards Sirkin, who is a great chance, and he has to hit the target really, and hits it over the bar. But little bits of quality like that, they were shining through, but they were quite, few and far between. Second half, we come out unchanged. They started to ring the changes a little bit as well. They brought on that striker, I forget his name, blonde lad. I think he's brand new player, big lad, and they did really start to make opportunities in that second half. From the left-hand side over on Trey Hume's side, he was letting cross after cross after cross come in. And Anthony Patterson, to his credit, had to make 2 blinding saves, and it was almost identical. Both times it was just looping crosses that come from the left-hand side, and this striker, again, I forget his name. Let me just get it up here, because I feel silly now. Salverson, that's the one. He come on, and he was causing all kinds of trouble, because before they didn't really have too much of a threat in the box. Of course, they had the pace on the wings, but they weren't too much of a threat in the box. Jerry Yates didn't really impress me at all. But they brought this Salverson on, and they had the aerial threat, and they had that sort of target to hit in the box. And on the left-hand side, as I say, several crosses were put in, and then it would just cause pinball, and we weren't really dealing with it. But a couple of times I did find Salverson, and it'd be sort of towards the back post, and head it back across goal, and Patterson had to reach a couple of times. It took fantastic saves. Then we had to clear it away. But there was one corner or one set piece that they got in the box, and then it was a huge chance in itself with Wilson ISIDOR, because we weren't getting too many opportunities. We managed to break away from a set piece, I believe it was, and he's ran from the edge of our area all the way through. His pace is it's ridiculous. It's electric, and you could just see that with Wilson. I think because of what happened in the previous game and the 2 missed penalties, you could see he was desperate. Not saying he played particularly poorly or anything, but he was desperate, which you get with a striker anyway. He is that natural striker. He's desperate to do well. There were a couple of times where he would just lash at the ball sort of unnecessarily when he could either pass the ball on or just keep composed, which we like to see from ISIDOR. But this chance, my God, it would have been goal of the season, similar to the goal against Hull, but it was from his own box this time. Ran the whole length, takes on his man, but it kind of... Lefay's on the left-hand side. If he could have played it a little bit earlier to Lefay, slide him through, and he probably would have had a tap in. But being a striker, I understand why he's kept on going, keeps driving. Defender does get back just about, and just as he pulls the trigger, the defender managed to get in front and deflects out for a corner. But it was a hell of an opportunity and a hell of a run from ISIDOR. But the goal that didn't stand, and I still have no idea why it didn't stand. So, Job does really, really well. He puts a ball over the top. Both Lefay and Wilson ISIDOR go through on goal. They're both totally onside. They're no way near offside. Wilson leaves it and lets it run across to Lefay. It's sort of bubbling and he sort of chests it. And then as he tries to cut inside, it bubbles off his defender who's trying to stand him up, and it bubbles to ISIDOR, who then smashes it past the keeper, and it hits the underside of the crossbar and goes in. Now, before the ball did make its way to ISIDOR, and I said the ricochet from Lefay cutting back fell to ISIDOR, one of the Derby defenders, as he's tracking back, he does run into ISIDOR and falls over, but there's no foul in there whatsoever. But yeah, he puts the ball in the back of the net, ISIDOR. I look over at the linesman to see if anyone were offside. Linesman's got his flag down. I look at the referee. He's not interested. He's jogging back to the centre spot as if it's a goal. he watches Wilson ISIDOR run over to the dugout, run over to the coaches, celebrating with them. Of course, he's buzzing that he's got his goal after last game, should I say. And then, after he's completed celebrations, he then disallows. And we still don't know why. There's been different rumours that maybe the ricochet bubbles back up off Lefay's hand, but apparently that wasn't it. When you look back, it may have been a bit contentious, but that wasn't it, apparently. There's heavy rumours, and if this is the case, then something has to be done because it is borderline cheating and there has to be some serious action taken. So what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing in reports and things like that is that the linesman didn't think it was offside, didn't see a foul. The ref, who was only 5 yards away, didn't say offside, didn't say it was a foul, didn't see a handball, nothing like that. But you can see that whilst we're celebrating, the referee is going into his earpiece. You've got Derby players getting into his ear a little bit, not too much, but getting into his ear, and then he disallows it. So what we believe has happened is after he's allowed the goal to be played, the fourth official has seen a replay on the screens that are around the dugout and then said it was offside, which it wasn't, by the way. And even so, that is essentially using VAR in a game that does not allow and does not have VAR. So it's absolute bollocks regardless. It is just straight up cheating. That's it. If it was VAR, then or a game that used VAR, I would understand at least. I'd be pissed off that it's not been given still because there's still nothing there whatsoever that shouldn't have been would have been a reason or a good enough reason to disallow the goal. But VAR is not in place in this game, and that's essentially what is used now. I've looked after the game. You can see Wilson ISIDOR go up to the referee, shake his hand and whatever, and he does say to him, "So what happened with the goal? Like, why wasn't it a goal?" And then he's kind of lip sync, and he said, "You came from an offside position." That's what it looks like from the lip sync. And I've watched it so many times. He is fucking miles onside. It was the most baffling decision I have ever seen. And I think this ref has got previous. And like I said, linesman flagged down, wasn't waiting for anything, didn't say anything. Even that straight away, the referee looked over at the linesman to see nothing. He walks away. The referee was not interested at all. So what the hell has happened? I still don't know. There might have been some kind of statement released since then, but he needs to get in a lot of shit for that because even though we still got away with 3 points, they put us under a lot of pressure after that. And if they scored, we would have been absolutely robbed. And ISIDOR still has been robbed of that goal. So honestly, I came away from that game a bit like the last game. Yeah, it was a good point against Burnley because we missed 2 pens. I was upset and fuming, well, to a point, to a degree. But this, I've come away from this game 1-0, and I'm still fuming, and it shouldn't be the case. But it's just the poor standard of refereeing in the EFL. It's a joke. You know, England is supposed to have the best leagues, the most money, best finances. Yet the standard of the refereeing is fucking abysmal. Abysmal. But either way, let's get away from that. We did manage to see it out. They did make the changes. We rang the changes as well. Ballard come on. Yelder come on. Onai moved over to left back at one point. Sam had come on. And there were changes that were made from both sides. But we just started to flood the changes towards the end. And there was a lot of defensive changes. And we did see it out. But yeah, all in all, we'll get away from that goal. Because I can say I'm getting myself riled up again because it was absolute bollocks. But in that game, it was just a typical sort of, we didn't get out of second gear and we still managed to get away with 3 points. And I always say that the sign of a good side is when you're not playing well and you're still picking up wins. And that's right, you know. Some of the, I know, of course, Derby, it was always going to be a difficult test, regardless of whether they're down where they are in the league at the moment. They're desperate, and against a team that are desperate and have that passion, and they did really give it a go. And at times, I think they were better than us. We have Plymouth this weekend, the team bottom of the league. You know, hopefully we do just wipe the floor with them, but it isn't going to be as easy as that at all. And I will be making a preview to that game later on in the week. Anyway, but there it is, guys. We got away with 3 points. My ender, I'm going to give credit to him. You know, I do give him some stick sometimes, and I often forget he's only 19, but he's having a good season. I know that he has his moments. He absolutely has his moments when he misses sitter here and there. But all in all, he's been fantastic this season, and I need to give him credit for that. And he's really coming into his own, regardless of where we're playing him. So fair play. He's really getting his head down, he's getting stuck in, and he's getting goals. I think it's like 9 goal contributions this season for him, which is more than anyone else, I believe. So yeah, I think I'm going to give my man of the match to Elijah Mayenda. I think he deserves it. I know a lot of our attention has been on Wilson, and he's been the sort of favoured striker for good reasons, by the way. You know, he has been fantastic, but I'm sure that Elijah at times has felt like he has been in Wilson ISIDOR's shadow. So to see him come into his own, to see him improve the way he has, and his bond with the fans, you know, last night he was celebrating with the fans, and it was really, really good to see, really, really positive. So yeah, but anyway, that's it, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. Again, if you're just someone who watches every now and then, or every now and then you just see me pop up on your feed and you're clicking it, just hit the subscribe button, please. Anyway, enjoy, take care, stay jammy, away the lads.